Welcome back to Story Break. Here we are again, this time with a story that has a science fiction flair. The name of this story is David. What do we really know about our origins? Are we the best of our species? What were our early ancestors really like? Science looks for answers, often generating more questions than answers. If you're new to Story Break, every 3 weeks we release a new story for your entertainment. Take a few minutes to relax and listen to this take at what it might mean to be human. And now, David. They told me you were coming. I'm David. He rose from his leather easy chair as the young woman entered. Joyce Vanderhost. She extended her hand. Please, call me Joyce. He gracefully stepped across the room and gently shook her hand. His much wider hand seemed to enclose her much smaller one. So, you're the psychiatrist, here to plumb my primitive brain for the archaic impulses of my breed. Are you having archaic impulses? The young woman challenged. David smiled. Maybe. How old are you? The young woman looked at him curiously. What, 32, if that's important. I can assure you that I'm fully accredited, thorough, and I'm good at my job. He still held her hand, looking hard at her. You're very attractive. I'm sorry. That wasn't appropriate. Oh, here. He reached for a throw on the back of the sofa, opened it, and awkwardly draped it around her shoulders. I keep this room at 60 degrees. That's my comfort level. I'm sure you must find it cold in here. I'm afraid I'm acting like a fool, aren't I? Oh, thank you. It was a very nice compliment. I'm flattered, but I think I'm just about average. I'm just trying to adjust to meeting you. I understand we're supposed to meet for sessions. If you agree, it's completely confidential. I can't discuss whatever we talk about with anyone, including the board. Oh, I see you have a fire. She moved toward the fireplace to warm herself. You're my first, you know. I'm sorry. I don't mean to stare. You're first? Woman. To talk to. There are no women here. All the lab techs are male, and my colleagues, grizzly old scientists, all male. Of course, I know about women. How could I not? TV, the internet. But you're the... I sound like an idiot, don't I? Well, actually, I was nervous about meeting you. She tried to ease his embarrassment. I was thoroughly briefed, but you're... Oh, please don't say I'm your first Neanderthal. It's just so obvious. David looked at her, the woman, almost pleading. I'm sorry. That was rude. When you're an anomaly and a deep secret, your social grace is somewhat limited. He paced slowly in the book-lined study, betraying his tension. I see. Oh, We'll get better at this, I promise. She found David strangely compelling. He was actually handsome, but not in the usual way. His was a strong face, bold, extremely masculine, with its broader nose and prominent brow. He was dressed in a tailored shirt opened at the collar and a pair of tan slacks. He wasn't much taller than she, but his shoulders were very broad, and he was powerfully built. His sandy hair was cut short, and his blue eyes were large and clear. He wasn't at all what she was expecting. What did they tell you about me? Well, you were raised here at the Institute. You've always lived on the compound. I'm their guilty little secret. The results of an unexpectedly successful genetic experiment. Did they tell you that? No. They spoke of you with great affection. She tried to soften her tone. Affection? Okay. I was a scrap of Neanderthal DNA and a tooth from a cave in Siberia. They stumbled onto a new cellular revival technique and engineered me into being I was not expected to live beyond a few cells. But you did? But I did. When it was discovered that I was viable, they couldn't resist carrying me out to full term. My birth mother was a willing lab technician whom I've never met. I was raised here by scientists, kept away from the world because I'm not supposed to exist. You're very articulate. I'm educated. They did that. I have PhDs in genetics, paleoanthropology, and philosophy. I think the term is intellectually high functioning. Well, you're better educated than I am, she smiled, trying not to betray any surprise. I work with them. My particular area of interest right now is comparative genetics, the evolution of my people. Oh, I would imagine that would be important to you. It's mostly theoretical. There's not much to work with. A few bones, some artifacts in isolated locations. It's all guesswork, really. It seems I am the chief evidence of what we were, if that's what I am. They've measured, tested, observed every inch of my body, every engram of my brain. They've tried to replicate me without success. That must be difficult. I'm used to it. This is my home, where I've always been. And the board, Dr. Bonnard in particular, does everything it can to keep me happy. I have access to books, the internet, media. I know the world, if at a distance. I'm somewhat different than you, I'm sure you know. I'm cold tolerant, comfortable in temperatures just above freezing. I bench press 450 when I work out, which is every day. I run obstacle courses each morning to keep my reflexes sharp, and I have an unusual tolerance for pain. The young woman looked up at him. How do you know that? Tests. You mean they... No, I agreed. They didn't force me. It was important that they know. How else can they confirm what we were? What else do you need to know about my physical condition? Well, I don't, David. I'm here to learn about your mental and emotional well-being. The board wants to make sure that you're well in all areas. He pulled back slightly and looked at her. I'm okay. Yes, you seem to be. I'm just supposed to have a few sessions with you to make sure that you are, that you have what you need. Huh, the board, yes. They've always been very thorough. She waited a moment. He lowered his eyes and seemed to pull away. Is there something you want to tell me? Any complaints? No. I know I'm their whole focus. I know how important it is for me to demonstrate all I can be. After all, I'm the only one like me. He seemed to smile slightly, but then it was gone. Is that difficult, being the only one? Well, I'm not. Not really. I'm just a man, like them. I know how different. They tell me that all the time. The mirror tells me that. But am I? I'm not some cave-dwelling troglodyte. I speak 4 languages. I listen to Mozart, and I love Coldplay. You have some of my genes in you. I've probably read more papers on the genetic legacy of the Neanderthal than Dr. Bonnard. I don't know what more I can give them. He was slowly pacing again. Have you told them that? Do you know why I'm named David? No. The statue. Michelangelo's. I'm not just a man to them. I'm their masterpiece, the triumph of science, a profound breakthrough, Dr. Bonnard's words. They'll never see me as just another human. Tell them. They should hear how you feel. My body is the answer to a 40,000-year mystery, and my mind is a revelation to them. They've been good to me, cared for me, always. Whatever I needed, wanted, they provided. They won't let you leave? When I was younger, a teenager, it enraged me. I accused them of all sorts of things. I felt like a caged animal. I was violent, aggressive. I nearly killed Bonnart in a fit of rage. They let me go to a local school. And I lasted 4 days. Teenagers are unforgiving of differences. I'm sorry. No, I had to learn. If I left here, I would be a walking sideshow. Here, I can work, study, and I have a purpose. That's important to a man. Oh, of course. I walk in the mornings after my workout. The compound is quite large. There's a wildlife refuge in the northern part. Well, that sounds lovely. It's my alone space. Do you think we could have some of our sessions there? He looked at her hopefully. How early? She smiled at him accusingly. Well, the workout is early, but say 10? Gives me time to shower and change. Well, I don't see why not. She could tell that it was important to him. Well, good. It's a date. He seemed restored. It's a session. She felt she had to remind him. Oh, yes, right. You'll love that part of the compound. The following week, she met David at the entrance of the gym exactly at 10 a.m. He was already there waiting. It was very early spring, and the temperature hovered in the high 30s. Joyce still wore her winter coat, and she could see her breath. But David looked like a summer tourist in a T-shirt, light jeans, and running shoes. Right on time, he smiled at her. You really don't feel it, do you? She buttoned up her coat when she saw him. Come the next ice age, I'm ready. He was like a young boy as they moved to the northern part of the compound. The trees surrounded them, and as they walked further into it, he enthusiastically pointed out the wildlife she would never have seen without his keen awareness. He seemed to know of their presence before they even emerged, and with each flurry and flutter, he could tell her what the animal was and what it was doing. You really understand them, don't you? She saw how connected he seemed to this patch of wild ground. When I'm here, at least for a little while, I belong. Don't you feel it? He looked at her seriously. It's beautiful. Cold, but beautiful. He laughed, and they continued walking. As they did, he talked about the animals, the institute, his work, and she listened. Over the next 2 weeks, the young psychiatrist found her sole patient to be open, vulnerable, and warm in a way that she found difficult to ignore. She told herself it was the change of surroundings, but she knew it was not that. Finally, on one of their many sessions in the refuge, when the temperatures were beginning to warm a little, he did something that frightened her. It was without warning, as they were watching a single bird suddenly flutter up to the sky. David froze as he watched it lift from a tree branch, and it was as if he were having some kind of a seizure. He stood balanced solidly on both feet, but his shoulders rotated rhythmically as his gaze locked on the bird rising into the air, wheeling and turning. His breathing became deep and regular, as if he were engaged in some heavy labor, but his face displayed a strange expression of rapture. David! He didn't answer her. It was clear that he did not hear her at all. Joyce looked around to get her bearings to try to find out where to go to get help, when suddenly his whole body relaxed, and he seemed to return to consciousness. David! What just happened? Are you all right? She had grabbed him by the shoulders, and she couldn't hide the alarm in her voice. Uh-huh. Yeah, yes. Tree swallow. They're the best. I'm sorry. Sometimes it just happens without my thinking. He seemed embarrassed. What? What happens? I was joining with it. He looked down at her while she still held on to him. You were what? Her face still betrayed alarm. Joining with it. I didn't think it would happen, not while we were doing this. No one knows. You can't tell anyone. He moved away a few steps to gather himself. It's genetic, I'm sure. It's the only thing I haven't shared with anyone. Except you, I guess. If I fix my attention on a living thing, an animal, a bird, anything, I can join with it, feel what it feels, see what it sees. I think it was part of some survival mechanism. We were hunters, it makes sense. We needed to know to avoid predators and to be predators. Birds, flight, that unbelievable, wild freedom. That's amazing, David. We can't meet again, Joyce. He grew sad and turned away. You know I won't tell anyone. I can't, David. It's not that. It's not fair what they've done to you. What are you talking about? You think you're here to shrink me, assess my mental and emotional state, but that's not why they brought you in. You're supposed to be my mate. David, that's not true. It is true. I knew about it, so I'm guilty too. They haven't been able to clone another one like me, so they want a hybrid. They want to know if a hybrid is possible. You didn't know it, but you're part of the experiment. No, I would know that. Joyce pulled herself inside, trying to examine her interview with Bonnert. They told you this? I can join with them, too. I knew what they were planning. Think about it. We're the same age, physically compatible, intellectually well-matched. You weren't hired. You were carefully selected. I didn't say anything earlier because I wanted it. David? I'm a man, Joyce. I needed someone like other men. But I can't. I won't do that to you. Imagine what that would be like for you. It would be here. An experiment. How would that be for you? What about our offspring, assuming we had some? Studied, schooled, confined. Everything provided except a reason to live beyond satisfying their curiosity. I can't. I won't do that. They can't have done this. She was struggling to resist the possibility. You already have feelings for me. Tell me you don't. He looked at her with a mixture of longing and shame. She nodded slowly. You know I do. I had feelings for you the moment I saw you. I couldn't help myself, but I can't let that happen. We can't. What about you, David? She wanted to approach him, but he held out his hand to stop her. Nothing will change for me. I can do this for my kind, for your kind. But it will end with me. We'll go back. You'll tell them that they have no need to worry about my emotional state and that you need to return to your other duties. Well, won't they argue? Try to keep me? You'll resist. They can't force you. She stood for a long moment, thinking about everything he had just told her. Finally, gaining control of her emotions, she said, "David is a remarkably resilient man. He is passionate, tremendously empathetic, well-adjusted, self-sufficient. My work here is done." He looked at her, and for a moment his strong face softened. Dr. Vanderhoost was a thoroughgoing professional. Our sessions were productive and gave me an enhanced awareness of the importance of my work. I'm grateful for my time with her. Slowly, they walked back to the Institute together. I'm glad you joined us again. If this was your first stop at Story Break, and if you enjoyed today's story, please press like and subscribe or follow us on Spotify or Apple so that you'll know when the next story is ready. The next story is called I Got You. It's a kind of look at the connections we make with other people in spite of everything. Please join us for the next story, I Got You. And until then, stay well, do good, and I'll see you then.